Okay, welcome to this 88K model railroad video, and this is part 3 of our wiki demo build out, and we are going to try to wrap things up by migrating our build into the wiki demo plan build. So far we've gone through, we've designed the layout, we've completed the physical build of the layout, we created our own control modules, we installed them, we tested out the layout build, and now we're going to migrate it. So let's get started. Okay, so let's get started. First, let's go over the migration. What we're going to do is look at the cut sheet. After we look at the cut sheets, we're going to start up the wiki demo workspace, then execute the migration plan, and then finish things up with the testing in auto mode. So let's go to the computer and look at our cut sheets. Okay, here's the cut sheets. It's broken down into two parts. The left side is the wiki demo, or the Rocrail Wiki Demo part. The left side is our migrations, and you can see what we're doing is we're matching up one for one what Rocrail is calling each component and what we know that component to be. You can see here at the bottom for the first block it's called FB1A, and in red we know that that's 31 or 34-11. And what we're going to do is just match each one of those one for one, and that way we can avoid any disruption of Rocrail in its basic form, or the wiki demo in its basic form. So let's start Rocrail and start the migration. Okay, let's start our migration. We are going to pull up our workspace, and we're going to pull up the Wiki Demo 2. This is a copy of the original version, and remember I said this is what we want to do in order to protect ourselves. If we have problems or we kind of get lost, we can delete this file and then copy the original and start all over again. So here's the server's up. We can start to configure the Rocrail or do the migration. We're going to go into Rocrail, the properties. We're going to take the controller and we're going to delete the virtual one, and we're going to add the power cab, the NCE power cab. At this, we're going to go into general, controller, and this is going to be the PWR space CAB. That's the power cab. Configure the COM port 13 and set up the baud rate to the 19.2 or 19.2. OK. And with this, we've got to, we have to restart here. It shows in the lower left, the server. We need to restart it. So let's exit out, shut down our server, yes. And let's restart it. Okay, Rocrail, start it, go back into Wiki Demo. There's a server, minimize. Let's double check. Make sure that it did migrate to the NCE power cab. Yes, we can cancel that out. Then initially you can go into table locomotives, and we changed the EO3. The address was 3 and we changed it to the 1008. So we can do OK. Now we want to migrate our plan into the wiki demo. And remember, we can pull up the sensor monitor, and we have all the sensors. there's something with the wiki demo, the way that they set up their blocks, or their station slash blocks, because the blocks is a stopping location. The They're only using two sensors, the in and the out. And although we have three sensors for our initial migration, we're only going to use two because we don't want to disrupt anything that is configured in Rocrail Wiki Demo. So let's close that out. We will swing back over to our migration sheet, and we can see that FB1A is set up for 34, node 34, address 11 and 13. That's A and B. So let's minimize that. We can now access the A. This is FB1A. Let's go into the properties. Here, the first one, the interface, is the WIO. The node is 34. And the address is 11. Or, let me make sure. Yeah, I'm sure it's 11 and 13. So 11, and we can apply this. Go back to the index, and FB 1B is going to be 13. So let's change that, 34. And this is 13. Apply. Let's go here and do one more. This, go back to our docs. This is FB2A and 2B, and that's going to be 34, 10, and 8. This is WIO. Here's 34. This is going to be, what was that, 10 and 8? 10 is A. Apply. WIO 34, and this is 8. Apply. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is pause it here. I'll do the rest of them. You've kind of seen it, and we'll come right back. Okay, I've got the sensor table updated. Everything's migrated. We've got the switches migrated over. I want to point out one thing again, just in case. The sensors that you see, there's a group of them that are left out, and that's because Wiki Demo uses only two sensors for each station. So I want to make sure that no one gets confused on that. Let's look at the cut sheets one more time. You can see here to the right, upper right, that's the Rocrail blocks, which we know them to be as stations, but they call them blocks. Then in our WIO configuration, we named each one of the stations. We gave it a DS1, 2, 3, 4 designation, but we're not making those assignments because the Rocrail Wiki Demo does not use it. It's only a two sensor configuration. So with that said, let's go back to Rocrail, close this out, and let's get ready to run the train. Let me set up the camera. And let's start. What we can do for the first exercise, we go into auto mode and we can drag and drop the loco into a particular area. In this sense, we're going to hit the station 4, and we can drag it to station 3 or block 3. And now you can see that the train takes off. And you can adjust the speed for which it takes off and slows down, but we'll just leave that as is for now. So this is a drag and drop, and you can see that the train stops right at that last sensor. But what we're going to do, remember, when we add our third sensor, we're going to have it to stop right in the center at that station. So next we can set a destination. So if we right click, we can click on set destination, and we can click or select what station we want it to stop or what block we want it to stop at. So we can go here, click OK, and now it's set, and then we can go and start the engine or loco, and then it will now travel from station or block to block until it gets to the destination. And there. So now we know our migration worked, everything is intact, and I'm going to end the video here. What we're going to do, maybe in a couple of days or so, I'll continue on with the next I'll come out with a plan for how we're going to start to learn some of the other features and give us a map. I think that's the best way of saying it. So with that said, once again, like, subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys in a couple of days.